Hello, I'm James Gallagher from the PlayStation blog. I'm here with Greg Phillips, who's a producer on Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. So, Greg, I mean, what are you showing new here at Gamescom that we've perhaps not seen before?
So for Ratchet and Clank: Crack in Time, here at Gamescom we're showing the Krill Canyon level, which is playing behind me, which we've shown at E3 and other events. Does a really good job of letting people pick up and play Ratchet, get a feel for it, which for a consumer event like Gamescom is great. The new content we're showing is a full level of the Clank gameplay in the Great Clock. It's called Great Clock. It's the second section of the Great Clock level, where Clank first learns how to manipulate time via his past self manipulation, time bombs, and other kind of cool time-based gameplay, which we haven't really shown off completely to date. We've kind of hinted at the Clank time puzzles. We showed a little bit at Comic-Con in the States last month. This is the first time we're showing a full level and how everything really fits together.
I mean, I never got my hands on the time gameplay at E3, but I saw a demo of it. Are you finding that people are getting to grips with it quite quickly, or does it take a bit of explanation before they get into it?
For the most part, people are getting the concept really quickly. Like, they're getting the idea of, like, okay, I can make one image of Clank, he can go stand on this switch, and then I can send the other Clank through the door, and oh, it can layer from I can have this guy standing on the switch to go having the other guy stand on a switch and use the first guy to go through the door. People are getting that, and the nice thing is, from there, then it turns into really just figuring out a puzzle. It's less a case of I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing, but more trying to figure out, okay, how do the tumblers fall in place for this particular lock? Which is what you want in a puzzle game. When you have puzzles, you want people to have some trickiness figuring out how it is. It's like, okay, what exactly is the solution to this puzzle? But they know they've got all the tools to solve that puzzle.
I mean, do you know what sort of where the team got the idea for the puzzle gameplay? What sort of inspirations they drew on?
Most in particular, I mean, we knew that this game, we wanted to focus it heavily on time, and one of the first things that popped into mind was, okay, maybe alternate selves with Clank, and it was also a good way to kind of change up the Clank dichotomy. It's always in the past Clank with the Clank bots, so now it's kind of Clank with himself. He's his own helper with a lot of these things, and it helps mix up the Clank gameplay and also really feeding into the theme of time, which is kind of woven throughout Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time.
Moving away from the sidekick and onto what we see on the screen with Ratchet. I mean, a lot has been said about the sort of slightly new art style, sort of explosions look a little bit more cel-shaded. Is that a conscious decision, or is it just down to the technology?
It was definitely a conscious decision, as well as, the technology. Insomniac's 7th generation technology really allows for it at this point, but it also it kind of gives the thing a more animated look. I would go less cel-shaded, more animated, like going for an animated movie and such, to really kind of make it feel more alive. And it helps because it's not plasticky looking. Like, it feels like it really came out of a cartoon or an animated feature, which is really what we were shooting for.
One conversation I had with some of the Insomniac developers at E3 again was what they thought made a good trophy list, because it's the first time the team has obviously put trophies into a game. So what do you think makes a really good trophy list in a game?
Well, personally, I'm always a big fan of things that aren't a little bit more off the beaten path, like things that are a little bit trickier to find that make the trophies feel a little bit more unique. One thing that's great about Insomniac is, for years before the trophy system came into place, there was these things called skill points in every Insomniac game from Spyro 2 onward. And so they've kind of been doing these types of things for a while, hiding these little things throughout the game. So they're very well versed, more so than I think most developers, in coming up with these really cool different things to create and have people go hunt down and find. In addition to a mixture of kind of achievement-based things like, hey, congratulations, you've reached this point in the game. But there'll definitely be a good handful of things where you're going to have to be a little tricky to figure it out.
Okay, so what do you want the player to sort of experience and feel, take away with them when they play Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time?
I really want to take away a couple different things. First and foremost, I think kind of the story of Ratchet and Clank. This is their third game on the PlayStation 3, and this really kind of brings this particular story arc to a close. It's Ratchet seeking out his friend Clank, and really what does their friendship mean, both to themselves and in the universe as a whole. Really want people to take the kind of time theme, like the fact that we're really trying to break away from the kind of traditional Ratchet mold, kind of really focus on one element and blow that element out, and do a variety of different things, from the Clank time gameplay puzzles to Clank being able to kind of slow down time with these time bombs, to other things we haven't necessarily talked about yet, and just really kind of have one theme and kind of blow a whole game around it. And also just really have a fun time. I mean, Ratchet and Clank games are always about having a fun experience. They do a really good job of giving a player a good amount of gameplay, a lot of different ways to go about experiencing things, awesome weapons, cool gadgets, everything that makes a Ratchet game with what's new this time around.
Okay, lovely. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.